nhliberty.org. nhliberty.org.
Hello, I'm Rosie the Riveter. Sort of. You may remember me from...
nhfree.com.
But now, I spend most of my time on the new political forum at...
nhliberty.org. nhliberty.org.
It's a place where all peaceful discussion is welcome.
nhliberty.org.
Is the fastest growing political forum in New Hampshire.
nhliberty.org.
Has lots of nice people. NH Liberty is where you want to be.
nhliberty.org.
The sergeant turns to me. There will be problems for you if you fail to answer. I tell him I do not have the training to withstand torture for very long, but will nonviolently resist for as long as possible. We don't torture people here, comes the shocked response. I will ask for orders, he says. I ask him if he would torture someone were the order given. Absolutely, he replies. But it will never happen. We don't do that here. In the military, maybe. I agree that a military situation is somewhat different, but express displeasure with his answer. I ask his name. He does not give it. He says, "Do you want my badge number?" I say, "Sure." He says he will give it to me when I give him my SSN. No numbers are exchanged. He leaves. Angry Guard returns. "I hear you chickened out and agreed to the TB test," she says. "I agreed to the TB test because I considered it in your best interest," I reply. But she has taught me an important lesson. Try to avoid anything that could be perceived or even misperceived as backing down. I will have more hard chances to learn this lesson. The sergeant returns. "Don't give my men any grief," he says. "We want a safe experience for everyone here and cordial relations with our inmates. I feel I've established a cordial relationship with you," he continues. "And by the way, my name is Evans. I'm assigned a holding tank with roughly 20 inmates. I expect this to be a bad experience, but have done some planning. Upon entry, I hold up my lunch bag. 'The rest of my dinner, who wants it?' A voice rises from the floor. An inmate lying there gets the food, and I get to enter the room on favorable terms. At first, I stand quietly by the wall. Then the questions start. 'What's with your T-shirt, this Free Russell Canning?' 'Who's Russell Canning?' 'He's the last guy that got arrested for doing what I did.' 'What did you do?' 'I distributed flyers at the IRS office and then refused to pay the $100 distribution of flyers fine.' 'What? If I were you, I would have paid the bleeping fine. Jack, check this guy out. Dude, tell him what you did to get in here.' The tank almost seems to fall silent, and I tell my story over and over. Inmates begin to deliver helpful advice for surviving my first dungeon experience. Don't brag about your short sentence. Don't assume you'll really just be here 4 days. Anything can happen once they've got you. The experience is not unpleasant, but an inmate warns me the tank is as good as it gets.
Now I have a chance to make a phone call, but discover I have done a poor job memorizing key numbers.
I realize it is important to have several memorized numbers you can call collect. People who can easily spread the word. The one number I am counting on goes straight to the perfect supporter, but her phone unexpectedly blocks collect calls. I am forced to improvise with only one other number in my head. After this frustration, it is my turn to leave the tolerable tank and turn over the street clothes you see here. An officer strip searches me, expresses friendly amusement at my innocuous conviction, then assigns me toiletries and a jumpsuit. It's been decided I will go to the infirmary. My refusal to answer medical or psychological questions makes them assume I am sick or suicidal. I and perhaps 4 other inmates are ushered outside at dusk. We walk under a beautiful sky toward a square, drab structure and enter it far too soon. A small but comfortable room awaits us. Without the steel door, it could be a physician's waiting area. More conversation among the imprisoned.
nhliberty.org. nhliberty.org.
Then a door opens, and Robert De Niro enters. At least that's how it appears. The guard is a younger version of this colorful star, but the voice is near identical. The face a carbon image. He says that his real name is DiFilippo, though I cannot vouch for the spelling. He fixes his interest on me and stands 2 feet away. "What's the matter with you? What's all this about you not answering questions?" He is carrying a broom over his shoulder. He hints at using a rope to change my mind. His exact intentions remain unclear, but I give him the same answers I gave the sergeant. "If you torture me, I will eventually succumb, but will withstand it for as long as I am able." He retracts his vague threat and removes me to an empty cell. "Take your clothes off." Again, I am strip searched. "Give me your toiletries. Shoes, socks. Give me your glasses." "Don't worry, we'll give them back." I receive an overgrown paper towel and am told to wear it. 20 feet away, female personnel come and go outside the glass door. The guard begins to leave, and I commit a new error. I would like my glasses back." "You can have them back when you answer our questions." "You said you would give them back." They dangle in the air before me. "Answer our questions." Again I decline, and am left to grapple with clothing that is not clothing, for a crime that is not a crime.
Thus will pass the cold, bright night.
But a morning will come to the cell, and with it, the remainder of my tale.
nhliberty.org. nhliberty.org.